The rumors are true. Alright, I think we should just jump into it because something big just dropped. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Reid. I'm joined by my, as you'd like to say, intrepid co-host, Jonathan Goodison, or we just got Spider-Man. We just got the Spider-Man trailer last night, and I've been awake all night waiting to see this trailer, but I've had to hold off so we could record this.
Yeah, just to give the folks at home a little bit of context, we were barely one day into our planned end of summer hiatus when Sony Pictures decided to drop a nuclear bomb on the entertainment landscape.
On a seemingly random day, this was coordinated with the what was it, some kind of
CinemaCon?
CinemaCon.
Event.
And I guess it got leaked from CinemaCon, so they just released the full trailer.
Yeah, there was an event on Sunday. There was news that someone had got some sort of screen rip of some version of the trailer that was going to be released the next day.
Yeah.
At CinemaCon, and so there was a big uproar about that. Sony was furiously trying to take down any of these copies that were popping up of this screen rip. And sure enough, the next day, yesterday, Monday, they put it out officially in full for CinemaCon and released it online.
Yeah, I've been seeing thumbnails. I was watching a YouTube video earlier, and the ad came up as like a skippable ad, and I was like, oh shit, skip, because I didn't want to spoil anything. But I cannot keep waiting. We just gotta watch this, man.
Yeah, and before we do, I just gotta say, honestly, the anticipation for this trailer has grown so much over the course of the past several months to the point where it's become a meme, honestly. There has been so much anticipation for this 2.5 minutes worth of footage, to the point where I genuinely starting to think that we wouldn't get it, or if we were, it wouldn't be until maybe a month or so before.
We were joking that it would drop the day before the movie comes out in theaters.
I mean, honestly. So
it's like when we did the Venom Let There Be Carnage episode, we spent 20 minutes just talking about when the Spider-Man trailer will come out. That's how big it is. So we weren't even talking about Spider-Man, and just.
That is how big this is. So yeah, I'm even though I knew we were gonna get it, a part of me just started.
I didn't think it would happen as quickly. I thought it was gonna be much later.
It's the kind of thing where it's like what's gonna happen, but you can't envision it actually happening. But here we are. Here it is after all these months of waiting.
I have to say you are looking very dapper today.
Oh, thank you. I honestly, I wish I could pretend that I was already wearing this for something else, and I just happened to be wearing this for this. But I dressed up for this. I can't lie to you. I wish I could say that this was for something else, but it really isn't.
That makes it so much better. No, I feel like I should have dressed up. I feel underdressed now. I feel like I did. I feel like I didn't.
There's
come appropriately.
There's no dress code. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure why I did it either.
It's a special day. It's a very special day. I got my Spider-Man lights. I got red and blue. That's the best I could really do. But
yeah, it is a special day. That it is.
Couldn't really do the red and black like the Ditko costume.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. Yeah, I don't own any black lights, but
Yeah, I gotta say, what was going through your head when you saw that this was that it had actually happened?
So I saw your text. And you but I didn't see the attachment. So it was just I saw bro, they actually did it. And then you sent a link, and that was all that showed up on my home screen. I was like, motherfucker, did they just release the Spider-Man trailer? And I think I was helping my mom out with something. I was running an errand or something. So I opened up the text and I saw the thumbnail for the new trailer, and I was like, holy shit, this is huge. Yeah, I literally said. Yeah, I said, holy shit, holy fuck.
Yeah, I told you, because remember, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, you had sent that that fan made trailer that somebody had put
yeah,
out
because I saw that
rounds.
because there's a fake like Marvel Entertainment YouTube channel, so I saw that and I saw the thumbnail, and I had also seen like bits and pieces from that on Instagram. So I was like, oh wait, are people sharing this already? I need to like go make sure a trailer didn't drop, and I looked it up. I just searched like Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, and that was like the first result. And I was like, oh, I can't watch this because we didn't do a react, so I sent it to you. And then you're like, yeah, no, this is just a fan-made trailer. And I was like, really? And then I checked the channel, and it was like nothing Marvel related. It was just other fan edits and like a bunch of random content. And I was just like, oh, okay.
I thought
all right,
because I remember
it's a relief because we would have been a full week late.
Yeah, which I mean,
so I'm glad it was fake, but
yeah, but I'm reminded of that because I told you at the time, when the real trailer does come out, it's not going to take a week for us to hear about it. In fact, I didn't say this.
Took less than an hour.
Yeah, I did say this, but I was thinking this. When it does come out, I would be shocked if it took more than an hour to hear about it. And that's literally what happened. I think it had been out for maybe 15 minutes when Greg first made me aware of it, and then it was 15 minutes later when I then texted you. So it was about half an hour between it coming out and everybody knowing about it. So yeah, it was never going to be some covert action.
And just everyone's talking about it, and I can't like engage. Like my girlfriend was saying, like, "Oh, the Spider-Man trailer came out." And I was like, "I really want to watch it, but I have to react to it first." And she's like, "Okay, try to record soon so we can have a full conversation about it." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah,
and like Greg sent that in the group chat. And I was like, "Oh, I really want to talk to him about it, but like I haven't seen it yet, and I can't watch it right now."
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. Let me share this. Here we go. The movie that you and I have both put on top of our most anticipated movies of 2021. Let's play the trailer. Do you want to count us down?
No, just go. We wasted too much time. Just play it.
Oh, look at this. This is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize females.
Stop, come on.
Yes, my spider lord.
Can we just like stay up here all day? It is so crazy down there.
That's right, folks. Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker.
Listen, I did not kill Mysterio. The drones did.
The drones that are yours.
Does any part of you feel relieved about all this?
What do you mean?
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never
Whoa, this got fucking real.
Tell someone that you're
so
protesting Spider-Man.
Now everybody knows. But this isn't about me. This is hurting a lot of people. I've just been thinking about how to fix all of this.
Oh, is he gonna get Doctor Strange to erase everyone's minds?
What do I owe the pleasure?
I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
Please, we saved half the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling
Why
me, sir.
is
Okay,
frozen up?
Steven.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
When Mysterio revealed my identity, my entire life got screwed up. I was wondering if maybe you could make it so that he never did.
Strange. Don't cast that spell. It's too dangerous. Fine. I won't. The entire world is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Wait, everyone?
Oh, he actually is.
Can't some people still know?
That's not how the spell works.
So MJ's gonna forget about everything we've ever been through?
Stop tampering with the spell.
Oh my God, Ned, he's my best friend. Oh, my Aunt May should really stop talking. What just happened?
Peter Parker broke the universe.
Oh,
Multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little. you trying to live two different lives. The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes. Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Hello, Peter.
The rumors are true.
And of
PS5.
course, just for some reason, I can't imagine why, a PS5 ad.
What's up, Sony? What are you doing, Sony?
I mean, I
think people aren't gonna buy your Spider-Man tickets, so you gotta sell more merchandise.
Well, we'll get to this. I can't imagine.
No. The rest of the episode is talking about the PS5. Okay, that's what that's clearly what they want.
But wow,
we gotta just go back and go frame by frame. Oh my.
We thought we were taking the week off, and yet we're about to do a whole conversations on this.
Oh my goodness. Wait, so I'm just the number one thing I'm confused about is why Steven is so eager to help Peter. Cuz usually he's a lot more cautious about not committing complete fuckery with magic. And he's like, yeah, this all could backfire. I'm not going to endanger anyone.
Yeah,
but with this, he's just like, sure, yeah, let's make the entire collective world forget this one thing.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that we both have some big questions coming onto this, and we're going to go through the trailer just scene by scene, just to see, just kind of go through and pick everything out. But
and also, how would that spell create the multiverse? I'm wondering if they're gonna relate it to Scarlet Witch, because it seems like a memory spell would not break the universe unless it's creating alternate versions of Peter and bringing other people who some know who he is, some don't, and I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I mean, I'm not really sure, but just in general, what did you think about this trailer? Did it live up to the huge hype?
I am so excited. I am very hyped. It's so real, it's so grounded, which I was not expecting. The whole protests and kind of the cyberbullying and Peter just kind of running away from everything and trying to escape this kind of public spotlight. I didn't think the movie would lean that heavily into it, but it seems like it is. There's that shot of him cuffed to the interrogation table, and I was like, oh, they're actually getting into the real world politics and consequences of having your secret identity revealed, huh? Even before the whole multiverse shit. So
yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Did it? I mean, there have been very few trailers in the history of trailers that have been more hyped than this one. I'm put in mind of The Force Awakens.
R.I.P.
As far as as far as trailers go, even trailers for the Avengers films weren't as hyped as this trailer has been. I mean, it's been unreal. So
that's because there's just been so much rumor and speculation.
Exactly.
Building up for so long.
Yeah, and frankly, it's been a lot of cases where, fans, they try to play, amateur detectives, and they try to pick out, well, maybe it'll be this date because it's this person's birthday, or maybe it'll be this date because of this reason, or this date because of this event that's going on.
Well, not just that, but also just details about the movie. And you have, leaked set photos and people stalking these actors and seeing them walk onto the Spider-Man set, and they're like, oh, so this person's going to be in the movie, this person's going to be in the movie.
Yeah, and so the rumor mill just took off completely, and I think you had a case where you had already just a huge natural anticipation of the movie on top of fans whipping themselves into a frenzy trying to find out every little kind of scoop and detail and little thing that's going on, all the secrets, because we know there's going to be a lot of them in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And so it just built and built and built until you had this huge hype train for the trailer. so much so that it would have been immensely difficult to have the actual trailer, not even trailer, really, we should be clear, technically a teaser trailer come out.
Yeah, what is the difference between a teaser, a trailer, and a teaser trailer?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is the teaser trailer a trailer for the teaser?
I don't think so. Teaser trailer is a trailer length teaser, if that makes sense. I don't. It's
that that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean the content of a teaser or trailer is a little bit different. A teaser is supposed to pique your interest and give you a sense for what the movie's going to be about, whereas the trailer is supposed to really kind of be the appetizer,
like an introduction, to the real almost.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so. This was 3 minutes long, so this was definitely a trailer length, but it was a teaser in that we know very little about the plot. We know more than we did certainly, but we still don't know a ton. But there was just so much hype going into this, and it would have been so difficult for when the trailer actually did come out to satisfy all those people. But my God, I think they did it. I mean, this trailer, while giving away still very little,
also gave away a lot.
Yeah, it told us it didn't confirm anything we didn't already know, but it definitely showed us some fascinating scenes, some fascinating snippets.
Yeah,
and
it was just like dangling. It was like, people in awaiting this trailer, they're like smelling carrots, right? And then Sony just dangles this carrot on a stick, and like we haven't gotten the movie, we haven't gotten our plate of carrots. And we knew there were going to be carrots, but like seeing that carrot on the stick.
Oh, it's nice.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Really nice. So, yeah, I thought they had a hell of a task on their hands actually assembling a trailer that would live up to the hype, but I think they did it. They did it almost perfectly, where the trailer lived up to the hype, got everybody even more excited, created a huge media circus around its release, and also still didn't tell us a ton about the actual content of the movie, or confirm anything we didn't already know.
And as a bonus, advertise the new PS5 controllers.
Yeah, and inexplicably just stuck a PS5 ad at the end.
It's not even I don't even think there's a new, like, PS5 exclusive Spider-Man game coming out.
No,
like it's literally just controllers.
A PS5 ad.
Yeah.
So it's Sony. I mean, credit to whoever cut this trailer, because they checked off every single box and they did a great job. So we're gonna go through the trailer and actually identify each individual thing we loved about it, which is almost everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta say. This is we don't rate trailers, but if we did, I would say this is a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, easy. Yeah.
So we start with, you see trailers do this a lot nowadays, where you have this cold open before the title.
Yep. Yeah, it's like we just saw that with the Vanguard thing, where they show different shots, and then you see those shots later on in the teaser.
And really, it's just for YouTube purposes, because of course it comes in just at about 5 seconds right before you can hit the
that's why they
add button.
That makes so much sense. I feel really dumb for not knowing that.
Yeah, no,
that makes so much sense.
They do it.
Yeah, where you like hold your mouse over the thumbnail and wow.
Yeah.
Which means those are probably
exactly 5 seconds.
Some of the most interesting shots, but not the most interesting shots.
Exactly. Yeah. Really, it's just to pack in as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
In the first 5 seconds, people don't hit skip. So that's why they do that.
Oh, look at this. This is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize females.
This is
Stop, come on.
Sometime after the announcement release that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. They're hiding off on a rooftop. It's enough time that not only did J. Jonah Jameson like release it on his Daily Bugle Joe Rogan podcast, but a newspaper came out.
Yeah.
With a full article. So he seems to be not on the run, but just kind of hiding from media. But it's not like he's, can't live at home or...
And actually, if you look at the paper there, that isn't the Daily Bugle. That's the New York Post. So
yeah,
in this universe, the Daily Bugle is still
it's the podcast thing
is the podcast thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is Well, and we'll see more of this later, but one thing that really surprised me is that I thought we would pick up this movie pretty immediately after the events of Far From Home.
I mean, it's still possible. We still can.
Yeah.
Well, which I'll point it out later. There's one clip I saw that might show that.
Yeah, but certainly from this, it seems like some amount of time has passed. Of course, we know some time has passed because Far From Home took place over the summer, and this takes place around the holidays. So
that makes me think that it's like right, or at least that part is like right after the events, or just picks up immediately.
Yeah, in fact, I mean, except for the J. Jonah Jameson being on all the screens in Times Square, this is literally the scene from Far From Home, where Spidey and MJ are swinging through the city at the end of the movie.
Oh, is this a re-edit?
Post-credit scene.
Oh, this is a re-edit of that scene.
I think this is a re-edit of the post-credit scene, yeah.
Wow. Also, unrealistic that, like, something like that would take over all the billboards. Yeah. Those companies paid a lot of money for that advertising space. You can't just hack it.
Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson's fringy podcast.
He's only going to be on one. Let's be real. New York is not going to.
If that, but I mean, then again, I mean, I don't know. You know, this being New York, maybe they're just so, you know, braced for Spider-Man news that that he could break through. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is in fact Peter Parker.
Listen, I did not kill Mysterio. The drones did.
The drones that are yours.
So, technically true, I guess Peter committed manslaughter, because...
Well, that's the thing.
I don't know, it's a weird legal gray area, and also happened in a foreign country.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing, is because, I mean, Tony Stark did leave Peter Edith, but, I mean, it's, at the same time, you know...
Legally, can he do that? Because... I don't know if a civilian can technically own such high-grade military equipment.
Well, Tony Stark did, but I guess he's Tony Stark.
But he owned the company that produced it, is the thing.
Right.
It's not like Peter Parker owns a weapons manufacturing company. He doesn't have any kind of weapons licenses.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess if I had to parse the, obviously, you know, this is, you know, all, you know, fictitious, but if I had to parse the legal reasoning here, Tony Stark actually legally left Peter Parker, Edith, presumably in some kind of last will and testament, whereas Peter Parker, he just gave Mysterio Edith just as a thing that one person gives another person a thing. There was no documentation of it.
So he's still legally responsible because it's still his legal property.
Exactly.
Which makes him liable for any injury,
everything
and death.
that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if he did give it to Mysterio. So the cops actually do have something of a point here. Obviously, Peter Parker wasn't responsible for what happened in London, but you can see why legally he would be in so much trouble that he seems to be under arrest here.
Yeah, wait. Go back. Play it.
Did not kill Mysterio. The drones did.
The drones that are yours.
What do you see here?
Let's see. So, a lot of case files.
We see Peter Parker, right?
Yeah.
We see one detective on the right. We also know a second detective came in. So it's Peter and two detectives in this room.
Yes.
Hey, Pete, where's your lawyer?
That's a good
Where's
point.
your lawyer? What are you doing? Where's your aunt, too?
Yeah, that's the thing as well, is that where's Aunt May? I mean,
you're just a little baby boy. What are you doing without a lawyer?
Can you interrogate a juvenile like this? I mean, even if the juvenile is Spider-Man.
I don't know.
Does any part of you feel relieved about all this? Does any part of you feel relieved about all this?
This building, isn't this his high school?
Might be.
I think it is. I recognize this from.
Yeah, because you see the field in the bottom left. It's dark and also has some snow on it, but you can see like the school letters and
there's
the
a
bleachers.
train station here too. I remember that from Homecoming. So.
Does any part of you feel relieved about all this?
What do you mean?
This is where it gets real.
Yeah,
it's like people are react, which is a interesting take because normally in all the Spider-Man stories, New Yorkers just love Spider-Man.
Yeah,
he's their hero, and in this, it's like they hate him.
Yeah, that's why I really am fascinated by this, and I really love this because it is so different from what we've seen in the past when it comes to Spider-Man on the big screen. A public enemy Spider-Man. In fact, you can even see on some of the
Devil in disguise.
protesters' signs.
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to hide or.
Or no, sorry, it was actually, if we go back to
yeah, it said
New
public
York.
enemy #1 on the billboard.
That's right, folks. Spider-Man is in fact
Yeah,
Peter Parker.
public enemy #1, Spider-Man. That is so different from what we've seen from the Spider-Man movies before. And
I
I'm
mean,
just
J.
fascinated.
Jonah Jameson calling Spider-Man a criminal is nothing new, but
Yeah, well,
everyone
that's true.
believing him
Right.
and
yeah,
like
J.
following
Jonah
suit,
Jameson is...
that's new.
Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson, I mean, he's certainly no fan of Spider-Man, as we saw from the Raimi films, but New York has always had his back. But in this case, now we're seeing a take where Spider-Man is actually kind of hated by, not just people generally, but his own New Yorkers, which is fascinating because that's always been one of the storylines that I found most fascinating in the comics, is when Spider-Man isn't necessarily beloved, and when he's even more down on his luck, and he's even more isolated. And we're getting a taste of that here, and I think that's fascinating because obviously Spider-Man is such a lovable character, but now we have a situation where Spider-Man has been credibly framed for a really really heinous crime, with the London attack from Far From Home.
Probably you could probably classify that as like murder and terrorist attack.
Yeah, honestly, it's like terrorism.
Yeah.
So I think that's absolutely fascinating. You have these people who are now protesting Spider-Man.
You don't really have to hide.
And here's the other thing: not just protesting Spider-Man, but protesting Peter Parker personally.
Yeah.
That's a different level on top of it as well, because usually it's just, well, people don't like Spider-Man, but people don't know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. In this case, you have like this mob of people who are personally protesting Peter Parker. That's really different, and that's really cool.
Really have to hide or lie to people.
So wait, go back. So we see Peter there. We see Ned behind him. Go ahead a few frames if you can.
Hide or
MJ, pause. Behind that, is that Flash or is that just a random student? Because the face seems similar, but the hair is super different.
Yeah, that is a good.
And it was also established that in the previous in Spider-Man Far From Home, Flash is a big fan of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
but he's not a fan of Peter Parker. So maybe in this one, Flash is like helping him out because he admires Spider-Man and feels bad for picking on Peter Parker. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I that's a really good catch. I think it is actually, or it certainly could be. It definitely looks like that could be Tony Revolori. He just dyed his hair.
Yeah, he did?
Well, I mean,
in this. Okay, yeah, because like the eye and the eyebrow seems to match up, but the hair is just so different that I really can't tell.
Yeah, and here's a question: what do you think might be next for Flash in this? Because we had a little bit at the end of Far From Home where they all got back to the U.S. and his parents, they didn't show up for him at the airport. They just sent the butler.
Yeah.
And there's been speculation that perhaps Flash could be perhaps a potential entrant to the Sinister Six, maybe as a kind of Green Goblin figure, like an Osborn figure.
Interesting.
Like, or if not him, then his father could be an Osborn.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I don't buy into it personally, just because that doesn't seem like a strong enough motive for him to. Because it was established that he's a huge fan of Spider-Man. He really admires the guy. Was I think the quote. So it doesn't make sense for him to become a villain and then attack Spider-Man just because his parents don't love him. I mean, that's a shitty thing, and it can cause some stuff, but it wouldn't make you hate your hero out of nowhere.
That's true. But it is interesting.
Green Goblin will come up. You and I both know the scene we're talking about, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, but I will say I do think that we're gonna see more of Flash in this. You know, he's kind of been a background. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been a fun support character. That entire like class group has really good chemistry. I think it would actually be cool to add Flash as kind of like a fourth member of the little Spider-Man team.
Yeah, the
could be fun.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, because you could get some interesting banter between him and Peter, him and Ned. MJ just like shutting him down all the time. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see more from him, both because Tony Revolori is a great actor, and because you know, I feel like they would not have included that little line at the end of, or that little scene at the end of Far From Home.
I thought they just played that for a joke. Like, you know, Flash just kind of has a desperate need for attention. That's why he's like live streaming all the time, because his parents aren't really there for him. It's just like a funny bit.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see.
So, before we go any further, you and I are we are mostly in agreement, but there are some disagreements, and I'm wondering, like what we did with the Loki season finale, should we make a wager, and make some predictions based on this trailer?
Oh, we could.
Would you be up for that?
I would be. That's dangerous because
it is dangerous. It's very dangerous.
We still know so little, but I think that would only be, this trailer's been so anticipated. I think it would only be right to keep to raise the stakes a little bit when the movie does actually come out, to see how much we can wring from this actually proves to be true. So I would be up for that.
What do you think a suitable punishment is? I have one idea, but I also don't know if you can pull it off. How is your high-pitched voice?
My high-pitched voice,
Why can you talk like this?
I'll say I rarely venture into the higher registers, so that would be a challenge. But I think I could manage something.
So, do you think you could do an entire episode like that?
Oh, definitely not. Yeah,
yeah, that might be a little too tough if you don't have the vocal range.
Yeah, I have a very strict policy. The only singing I do is in the shower. Other than that, I don't I won't afflict the world with my singing voice. But boy, we'll have to think of something. What would be something that's be suitable for such a occasion?
Trying to think of something that's like either like podcast audio related or like visually related, or related to Spider-Man. I was thinking, you know, we could, like, Loser could cover themselves in Silly String. Like, that's a possibility. I assume you can just buy it online.
Oh yeah. That could be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's like rough enough. You know. Like, I would want to cover myself in Silly String, you know?
that would just be fun.
Yeah, it would be a great time, and that's...
How about...
I know I suggested this last time, but Loser gets doxxed.
That'll be the series finale when we're closing the book on observation conversations. That's when we'll just dox ourselves. And we'll go out on a bang.
Oh my god.
Gosh, I don't know. We'll maybe it could be like. I know I just said that I don't afflict the world with my singing voice, but since this is a punishment, how about the loser has to write and perform an original song apologizing for how bad they are at Spider-Man theories?
I love that. I love that. I think at the yeah. I thought you were just gonna say that I have to sing the Spider-Man theme song, but I like that so much better. I agree to that. I can agree to that.
Okay, so that's what we'll do. God help us.
Maybe even we just say like, you know, do it to the tune of the Spider-Man theme song, but make it about how you're bad at theories.
Yeah, there you go. That would be perfect.
Throw in some embarrassing details about yourself.
Yeah, we will lose all of our subscribers, but you know, that's you have a deal.
Alrighty.
All right. So, all right. Yeah. So, and yeah. Just a little small editing note.
Okay.
I think we can cut it. We can cut out a lot of the dead space where we're thinking about the ideas. And we'll just cut right to the main idea.
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry.
Perfect. Okay, so with that firmly established, God help us. let's continue. But oh yes, I wanted to say I agree with you. All the classmates, they do have great chemistry.
Lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. But how do you tell someone that you're Spider-Man?
Like this. Hey, I'm Spider-Man.
I mean, that's the thing, you know, and I know we keep coming back to this, but the fact that Peter Parker is outed as Spider-Man, that changes everything. I mean, obviously, we've known that since, you know, for the past 2 years since Far From Home, but I mean, to see the consequences of it here, it changes everything, because there is nothing more core to the Spider-Man identity, the Spider-Man character, than the separation, the wall that exists between Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Obviously, for him, it's a constant struggle to balance the two things. But for everybody else, the secret identity is the bedrock of that character, and it's just gone like that.
Yeah.
And I think it really fundamentally transforms our understanding of Peter Parker when there is no more separation between himself and Spider-Man.
Now everybody knows. But this isn't about me. This is hurting a lot of people.
So it looks like Ned was also in detainment.
Yeah, so was Aunt May.
Well, she has no reason to be detained, so she might just be there.
Yeah, well, I think they're being called in for questioning. If I
yeah, that would make sense.
Hurting a lot of people.
Yeah, because he's not like cuffed to the table at all.
How to fix all this.
So this looks like, so just timeline wise, we had Far From Home that took place over the summer, and these look like Halloween decorations.
Yep.
So this looks like it's going to be around October.
And then I imagine there's going to be, well, I thought it was also going to be taking place around Christmas too. So
yeah,
there may be multiple time skips.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I think we're going to have. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think we're going to have the immediately post Far From Home time frame where we saw literally a re-edit of the post-credit scene from that movie, where we see, if we go back just a few seconds here, right to here, you can see this is where you can see the red and blue flashing lights. So this is the police actually at the Parker household.
Mm-hmm. This is hurting a lot of people.
And that's when Ned and Aunt May get called in for questioning.
How to fix all of this.
So now we cut forward, and now I'm guessing that this October time frame takes us back to around here when they're back at school.
Yep.
You have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never want.
I think we're beyond you.
All of this.
And then finally, we'll have the December time frame around the holidays.
So, Peter, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm sorry.
So
why is it frozen over? I know it's like holiday season, Christmassy, but like,
you know, and I've seen people asking this on Twitter and elsewhere, but see, I don't know why it's a great mystery. We know why there would be all this snow in the middle of the Sanctorum. For one thing, obviously, just the weather. It gets very cold in New York around December, so it snows.
Yep.
But also, why is it inside? Because one of, not the first scene, but the second scene of Infinity War, Bruce Banner came crashing through the roof of the Sanctum Sanctorum and landed in the middle of it.
That wouldn't cover every single surface in ice. And I imagine they repaired that relatively quickly.
Well,
because remember, he also smashed through the staircase, but the staircase is intact here.
I mean, I don't know why they haven't repaired it yet. I mean, obviously for wizards it would be pretty easy
Yeah,
to repair a roof.
that's what I'm saying. I think they did repair it.
But I mean, there's no other explanation for why the roof would be.
What do I owe the pleasure?
See, there's no like hole in the stairs where the Hulk crash landed. And you can see there's like icicles hanging from the banister and stuff. But like when he walked in, it was a sunny day. There wasn't snow on the ground. So I think that's an unrelated thing. It could be a problem with like the magic door portals that lead to different environments upstairs.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But
There's definitely some weird magic fuckery going on.
Yeah, it could be some magical reason, but I can't imagine what the purpose of that would be. My mind still goes back to Hulk crashing through the roof, but I could be wrong about that. We'll see.
I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
Please, we're safe to have the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me sir.
Okay, Steven.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
When Mysterio revealed my identity...
Okay, so...
Is that him running through a cafeteria?
Weird, but I'll allow it.
Yeah, this is...
But he's...
Spider-Man in his night suit.
It's either his night suit or there was a rumored, like, black and gold suit that he gets.
Yeah, well, I don't see... Oh, maybe it is the black and gold. I'm not
because
sure.
The night suit was a little more gray, a little more tactical, whereas this one is like kind of following that skin tight look.
Right.
And then is that a cafeteria? Is that like a soup kitchen? Because there are adults in there.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Well, first of all, I should clarify the night monkey suit.
Yeah.
I should call it by its correct terminology, the night monkey suit. But yeah, no, this doesn't look like any high school cafeteria because these are all adults.
Yeah, I think this has to do with Aunt May's like relief program that she runs. I think this is just the soup kitchen.
Yeah, I guess so. Why is Spider-Man here? Hard to say, or more importantly, what is he running towards?
Or from?
Yeah.
Life got screwed up.
So this is back in the post Far From Home period of time.
Yep, they landed and got swarmed by a crowd.
Yeah, in fact, this is literally where we left off, I think.
Yeah. He was wearing the like red and black suit.
Exactly, yeah.
Make it so that he never did.
Strange.
So that looks like... So Wong is telling Strange not to do something, which is weird because Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme. He's technically Wong's boss. Yeah,
but I think Wong is just cautioning him because, Strange as the Sorcerer Supreme, Strange, he's not as cocky as a Tony Stark, but he is cocky.
Yeah.
He's very confident of his abilities. And I think Wong is just cautioning him.
He's not as wise as the Ancient One.
Exactly. I think that Wong not wanting to have a repeat of the hubris of the Ancient One is cautioning, hey, Strange, I know you're pretty cool, you're hot shit and all, but, don't think that you can go messing with the fabric of reality without consequences. Because, of course, yeah, we saw what happened with, the Ancient One, and obviously Caecilius tried the same thing, and it didn't end well, so...
Yeah. And also, we see Wong packing his bags and leaving for some kind of trip or retreat.
Mm.
Do you think he's going to the cage match where...
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we know that Shang-Chi is obviously coming out in a couple weeks, and Wong is going to be in that. He's going to appear on the West Coast for those events. So, does Shang-Chi take place after the events of this movie, or prior to?
That is a good question. I would imagine before. Just
That's
because
what I also...
they usually don't release movies that,
Yeah, they typically try to release movies in a rough kind of chronological order.
Yeah.
Unless when otherwise explicitly stated, like with Black Widow. But, that's what I assumed as well, that Shang-Chi would take place before. But maybe it takes place after. That's where Wong is going. Maybe this is the last we'll see of Wong in this movie, so that he can go be in Shang-Chi. I don't know. But other than that, I'm not sure where he would be going off to.
Well, wait. You can see it in the portal. You can see there's like these pillars and this like dome-like structure.
Yeah.
It's some kind of courtyard, stone courtyard.
It looks like some sort of older stone building.
So it could be some temples in China.
Yeah, maybe Wong is literally about to walk through a portal into Shang-Chi, and that's the last we're gonna see of him in this movie.
Well, it's too dangerous. Fine.
In which case, and I know I kind of said that as a joke, but also not really a joke. I mean, that would mean that the events of the two movies take place simultaneously.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting. So.
I won't.
So Sanctum Sanctorum has a basement, and it looks very, very old and cryptic and spooky.
Yeah, of course.
Forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Wait, everyone?
All right, so Peter Parker wants Stephen Strange to cast a spell so that the world will forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Makes sense, but as we see later on in the trailer, it says, be careful what you wish for. Perhaps Peter, I mean, I don't know how specific you can get with spells, but perhaps Peter should have asked, well, make sure that these people still remember Peter Parker. Everybody else doesn't remember that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Well, Doctor Strange says that's like if you keep playing it, he says that's not how the spell works.
Right.
Can't some people still know?
That's not how the spell works.
Yeah.
So MJ's gonna forget about everything we've ever been through?
Stop tampering with the spell.
Oh my God, Ned, he's my best friend. Oh, my Aunt May should really know. Stop talking.
Okay. Rewind a little bit. I guess the reason that this breaks the universe is because the spell is probably linked with Parker's specific wants, needs, desires. And as he's kind of like realizing that like, oh wait, I can't have everyone forget. I need this person, this person, this person. It like complicates the spell as it's being performed.
Yeah,
because it's trying to execute multiple tasks at once, and it just can't do that.
Right. Yeah. Peter should have really made like a shopping list of people that he wants to make sure that those people still remember that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But apparently he came in with the general idea of what he wanted, but now it's been complicated. And we get this really cool sequence.
So I don't know if those shots will be in the movie, but they look like they may have been ripped from, or at least the color shots that. Looks like it was ripped directly from the Doctor Strange movie when he was like, tripping balls because of the Ancient One.
Or if you want to get even more specific, this specific shot of the colors flashing past in that tunnel, that is exactly what the Bifrost looked like in Thor Ragnarok.
Ooh, that is also true.
So that's also something that I noticed.
Don't know what the purple energy was. Wait, can you play it again, actually?
Friend. Oh, my Aunt May should really know. Stop talking.
You can see there's kind of space, and then, pause it. Can you go back at all? If you remember, during the Loki finale, we see that rock that kind of exists outside of time, and everything around it was kind of this, like, dark blue, purpley, ethereal space stuff.
Yes.
And I think that's what that looks like too.
Yes, very good catch. Very good catch. This we saw a lot of. They made a big deal of putting a lot of purple accents in that Loki finale, where we actually go to we meet the One Who Remains.
Yeah.
And this looks a lot like that. So this could this reality collapsing actually be like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man being momentarily outside of time, like we saw?
I think that's what it is, outside of time or outside of their universe, since it's the whole multiverse thing.
Yeah, I think that's a very good catch. I think that's what it is.
just happened?
We tampered with the stability of.
Okay, so now we're gonna start to see a lot of this. These pretty much these are Doctor Strange scenes, but now with Spider-Man, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, like him swinging through these kind of weird folding in
rotating
illusions.
Buildings.
So I thought that was the mirror dimension, isn't it? The one that like folds in on itself all the time.
Exactly.
So I don't know why they went there specifically.
Multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly.
Another exact replication of Doctor Strange sequence when Manhattan just collapses in on itself.
We see a bolt of lightning that could be Electro, but we can't see, and also there's a massive storm cloud like 10 feet above it. So
yeah, which I gotta say, I think it's really cool that now. I mean, obviously, it was really cool the first time in Doctor Strange, but I think it's even cooler now that we have that established in the MCU. Now, Spider-Man goes through Doctor Strange's whole kind of insane first encounters with the mirror dimension and the multiverse.
Yeah,
multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
But yeah, good catch on that. So this looks like. Yeah, this looks like. I think this could be Electro. I think this could be Electro's introduction.
I think it could be a new Electro. Because in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, he showed up. He was blue, and this is yellow. So that could just be a distinction that like, hey, this isn't the same Electro as in that universe. We're just bringing back the character and the same actor.
Yeah, well, we know that Jamie Foxx is coming back.
Yeah.
And if you've got the same actor playing the same character, I really don't think it's going to be a different version of the character, because that would just get way too confusing for people if you're going to get the same actor back in. So I think it is the same. It's the same
character, but a different version.
Exactly. It's kind the same like, character.
Like J.K. Simmons being J. Jonah Jameson again, but just like an MCU version.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same character, but just kind of like a reskin, like in a video.
Yeah, or like a soft reboot.
Exactly. This is awesome. I love this like multi-train thing. I don't know what's going on.
Like a train barrel that's like flying off.
Yeah, that's awesome. This is really cool. This is the thumbnail for the trailer.
Yeah.
So you see Peter Parker getting pushed outside of his body, just like the Ancient One did to Stephen Strange.
You see Peter Parker holding that box in a lot of the shots.
What is this box? Yeah.
My only guess is, when Doctor Strange performed the spell, he condensed the like orange glowing stuff into like the small nucleus that was like this big.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they just put that in the box and it's like a magic, can't destroy this box.
Right.
But it's like,
quite
what
possibly
is he doing with it?
Yeah, because this is not when Spider-Man first arrives at the Sanctum. This is sometime later.
Yeah, or it could be an alternate Sanctum. I have a theory of how this movie is going to play out, but I will save that for the end.
Okay. Yeah, this is really interesting. I have no idea what that box could be, but this is really cool. This is the third time we've seen this. First time was the Ancient One doing it to Doctor Strange. Second time we saw the Ancient One do it to Bruce Banner.
Yep.
And now Strange is doing it to Peter Parker.
The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes.
So that is most likely Green Goblin. Or some form of Green Goblin.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of headlines talking about this. This is almost certainly Green Goblin. But who though? Because
it's not Willem Dafoe. He didn't come back. It's not James Franco, who's the Osborn's son, because he didn't come back.
Yeah, it's and I have to correct something that I said earlier. I said earlier that this trailer was great because it lived up to expectations and it built on the hype without telling us anything that we didn't already know. It did tell us one thing we didn't already know, and that is this. We have not heard, at least not that I'm aware of, any mention of a Green Goblin featuring in this movie.
Yeah.
And this is the very first time we're seeing that, which I gotta say, my goodness, whoever is like running like security at Sony Pictures, give that person a raise, because this movie, for how many eyeballs have been on it, nobody has ever heard of a Green Goblin being in this movie before right now, which is incredible. Like, you know, like this set has been airtight. Obviously, there have been some little leaks and photos that have gotten out, but nothing compromising. Obviously, everything that we do know is stuff that they've put out themselves.
Yeah.
But nobody has mentioned a Green Goblin before now. And so I think that is incredible that has not gotten out.
And it's weird because, you know, part of me wonders if it's a fake out. Because all we see is the, you know, green grenade thing, and then you hear the laugh behind it.
The laugh.
We have seen a similar grenade during Falcon and the Winter Soldier that Sharon Carter used. And people were speculating about that. Is she like, you know, are they going to introduce the Green Goblin and she's like the weapons manufacturer for him? What's up with that? And that design is pretty similar. But that laugh, the laugh makes people think that it is Green Goblin. And why would they say, hey, why would they imply a character is going to be in the movie just to have him not be in the movie and disappoint audiences?
Exactly, because I mean, because I mean, they've been very, very smart about how they've handled this movie up until this point. So they know that the moment they put this trailer out, it is going to be picked apart to death by the entire internet. You know, people are going to comb through every frame of every scene of every second in this trailer. They know that nothing that they put in here is going to escape scrutiny. So they're not going to put in anything that is going to overly inflate expectations to open the door to a possibility of letting the hardcore fans down later on.
Yeah.
You know, they've been very, very smart about expectation management. And I know that sounds kind of funny to say because of how crazy the hype has gotten for the trailer, but it wasn't like it was undeserved hype. The trailer is here and it's awesome. So, you know, they know that as far as what they can control, because they can't really control fan hype. I mean, fans, that's just what fans do. You know, they hype themselves up. But as far as what they can control, they've been very smart about expectation management, promise a lot, but, you know, for the potential biggest secrets of this movie, keep it under wraps until it actually comes out. And I think that this could be an example of that. You know, could it be Power Broker related? Sure, it could be. You know, I agree with you that it does bear some similarity to some of the weapons that we saw in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But for me, it's not even so much the grenade, it's the laugh.
Yeah.
The laugh is what sells it for me, because I'm racking my brain. Who in the MCU that we know has a laugh like that and with green accented tech? I mean, I'm reaching, yeah. I mean, and especially for introduction in a multiversal Spider-Man movie, I mean, I think that by far not only the most satisfying answer, but the most likely answer is Green Goblin. And yeah, that's fascinating. So, as you said, Willem Dafoe's not coming back, at least certainly not that we're aware of. James Franco's not coming back, at least certainly not that we're aware of. Most likely, this is going to be a new MCU Green Goblin. Who do you think could fill that? Will it be someone completely new? Because we know that, obviously, if this is the Green Goblin, we've got to get some big star in.
Yeah.
So, will it be someone... Oh, okay, I won't even ask, will it be someone that we already know? Because it almost certainly won't be someone we already know. But I'm just trying to think, I mean, who could it possibly be? Because we have not heard any rumors about this at all.
Yeah, and there was no Green Goblin in the Amazing Spider-Man series. I think he only showed up in the Raimi films.
Well, James Franco was Harry Osborn in the Amazing Spider-Man films. So he was kind of in that. Or no, I'm sorry. No, sorry. Not James Franco. Dane DeHaan was Harry Osborn in the Amazing Spider-Man films. James Franco was in the Raimi films.
Yeah, James Franco was Willem Dafoe's son.
Yes,
and took up the Green Goblin mantle.
Yeah, but in the Amazing Spider-Man films, it was Dane DeHaan who played Harry Osborn.
But he never became Green Goblin.
Oh, he did. By the end of the second movie, he was.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that happening. Cause I remember the movie ending on, Spider-Man like about to take down the Rhino.
Yeah, well, that was the very last scene, but in the climax, it was Electro and Green Goblin. We can pull up a scene after this if I can show you.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, it could be him, but probably more likely someone new since there hasn't been any information about.
Yeah, I would wager it's someone new, and I think that I would be if they were to take two villains from any one of the previous iterations, it would be from the Raimi films, not from the Amazing Spider-Man. And we know that Electro's already coming back from Amazing Spider-Man 2, so I would doubt it's Dane DeHaan, especially because also, well, his take on Green Goblin wasn't exactly a fan favorite, but then again, neither was Electro's, and they're bringing him back, so that's not a disqualifier. But I think most likely they would bring back either Willem Dafoe or James Franco, but we haven't heard anything about that, so it's probably going to be somebody new. But gosh, I have no conception as to who it could be, because up until this point, I would say we're closer to getting the Richards family with the Fantastic Four than we are really any prior mention of the Osborn family.
I don't even think legally Marvel can include Osborn, because those are secondary. Like unless Sony kind of struck up a deal with them, but I imagine they'd also hang on to those characters.
Well, that's the thing, is that if Sony wants Marvel to put him in the movie, then they can arrange that, because Sony has the rights to those characters. But if Marvel says, "Hey, we want to put a Harry Osborn in this movie, can we do it?" and Sony says yes, or if Sony says, "We want you to put Harry Osborn in this movie, then make it happen,"
they can.
Then they can do that. So, but we really, there really hasn't been any mention of the Osborns, or even really how Peter got his powers in the first place. It was a throwaway line in Homecoming, when Ned asks, well, how is his his spider powers working, yada yada yada, and he just, he asks, well, is the spider still alive? And Peter says, well, Spider's dead, Ned. But beyond that, we've really got no mention of Oscorp, the Osborns, none of that. So I have no clue.
Yeah, because there's also that whole situation at the end of Far From Home with the tower, with like the previous Avengers tower now being not Avengers, and people were like, is it like the Fantastic Four headquarters? Is it Oscorp? And it was never confirmed. So if Green Goblin is coming back, then it actually could be Oscorp.
Yeah, I mean that's a distinct possibility. That is a distinct possibility.
Be careful what you wish for, Parker. Hello, Peter.
Okay, so here's the big reveal. The moment you've all been waiting for.
Hello.
Alfred Molina coming back.
Alfred Molina is back as Dr. Octopus. Oh, that's exciting. That is really exciting. I mean, of course, this isn't breaking news. We already knew that Alfred Molina was coming back, but it's so great to see. Like, as far as the live-action Spider-Man films, in my opinion, Alfred Molina is, if not the peak, then certainly, in the top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pitch perfect for that role in Spider-Man 2, and now he's back. And so what we know about how Dr. Octopus is coming back is Kevin Feige has confirmed that we're picking up with Dr. Octopus literally from where we last saw him sinking into the Hudson River at the end of Spider-Man 2. So it doesn't seem like this is a reskinned version, like a J. Jonah Jameson or possibly even Electro. This seems like this is just the Dr. Octopus that we know, transported into this universe.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, has Kevin Feige ever, like, directly lied about upcoming stuff for like a psych out? Because I know they've included like
Probably.
fake scenes and trailers, but I don't know if he's like ever gone on record.
I mean, I don't know that he's ever lied, but I think he's definitely been misleading at times. Or I should say lies of omission. I should say, would probably be most accurate. Yeah, no, I'm sure that's happened before. It's probably happened loads of times, but of course, by the time the movie comes out, nobody cares because, well, the movie's out. So, he kind of gets away with it. It's all tradecraft in the service of, keeping the hype alive.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's...
Hello, Peter.
It's awesome to have him back, and clearly he recognizes Tom Holland as Peter Parker, and that's before he puts his suit on, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So, big picture, Doctor Strange's make everybody forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man spell has created a rift in reality that has now drawn in these characters from prior Spider-Man installments. Yay, nay?
I am still trying to puzzle it out a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's what has happened. So... Okay, December 17th, exclusively in movie theaters. They're not hedging and just saying this winter or this fall. They are sticking to a firm date, as I always knew they would. I mean, it's Sony's biggest release of the year by far. I mean, this is like an Avengers level event. So, they are sticking to December 17th, come hell or high water.
Are there any accredited actors shown? I don't think so. Yeah, no.
Okay,
so we can't really see who else is in this movie, but
yeah, but let's I really want to comment on this. Hold on. There's just a PS5 ad at the end. Why is there just a PS5 ad? I mean, I know why, but
why?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so unnecessary. Like, yes, Sony, we know you make movies, and we know you make movies, and you make like washing machines. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Like you make a lot of stuff, including PlayStations, but there is nothing even remotely PlayStation related in this trailer. It's not and here's the weirdest part is that it's not even an ad for the PlayStation 5. It's an ad for the wireless controllers for the PS5. It would be less egregious if it was an ad for a new Spider-Man game. Like, for instance, they just put out Spider-Man Miles Morales last year for the PS5. I heard that was pretty good. Or just, if you must, just an ad for the PS5 overall, because I know the PS5 is super popular, even though they're impossible to get, still almost a year after release. But an ad for the PS5
yeah, they didn't even do they could have done like a Spider-Man skin controller.
Yeah, like exactly a Spider-Man skin controller,
like an exclusive release.
Yeah, like that would fly off the shelves. Even people that don't even have PS5s yet would buy the controllers just because they want to be part of the Spider-Man exclusive release. That would make sense. But no, it's literally just your bog standard PS5 DualSense wireless controllers. Nothing Spider-Man related. I mean, even the colors aren't Spider-Man. We've got white, hot pink, and black.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. Yeah, I mean, does this make any more sense to you? Because I can't understand this at all.
I don't know, because it's like, you watch this whole trailer and you're so hyped, and then you see this PS5 ad, and you're either gonna forget the trailer and be thinking about the PS5 ad the entire time, or you're gonna ignore the PS5 ad and be thinking about the trailer the entire time. Like, you can't have both.
Like quite honestly, like you could you will have watched all 3 minutes of this trailer, and I guarantee you will immediately forget the PS5 ad. Like, it has zero impact. Like nobody is gonna say, "Oh well, trailer was pretty good and all," but you know what? That little 3-second PS5 ad at the end, that's what really piqued my interest.
What if this is an advertising conspiracy and that Sony knows that putting the PS5 ad at the end of the trailer will make it a meme, and then that'll spread the trailer even further?
Oh, that
could be some brilliant ass marketing if that was intentional.
Take on a life of its own, and people will start making cuts of other things where it's like, climactic scenes in movies, and then they just put the PS5 trailer at the end.
That too.
And it becomes this self-sustaining meme. Like, I swear, if that's the deeper plan behind this, it's brilliant. It's brilliant because the internet will do all the work. It's nothing but free publicity.
Yeah.
And that way you've got your DualSense PS5 controller ad everywhere for free, and with zero effort. And we've said this whole time how smart the Sony marketing people have been. If that's the plan behind this, if they saw the immense hype machine and the immense meme that the trailer releases become, that they decided, let's put a meme inside the trailer, which has itself become a meme, and then that meme will just serve as free advertising from here to the end of time.
Holy shit.
Every
whoever did this, they deserve a raise.
Yeah, every marketing executive in the Sony building is about to get a raise, because that's brilliant.
If it was intentional. If it wasn't intentional, then they're all fucking dumb.
Yeah, no, if this was literally just, well, we're Sony, we gotta sell PS5s, and that's stupid. I condemn that.
Yeah.
But if this was like some sort of Machiavellian, like, mind games behind
I applaud
the scenes,
you, sir. Well done. Brilliant.
That's brilliant. I would say if they have like awards in the marketing world, like an Oscars for marketing, please give them all of them, because like they've earned it. If that was the plan the whole time.
Amazing.
And that's the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
So conclusions.
So I had a theory, but I don't know if the leaving off with Dr. Octopus sinking into the Hudson really fits into that. I'm not entirely sure. But what sparked this theory was the scene of Doctor Strange standing on a train, creating a barrel of other trains around.
Sorry, sorry to cut you off. There's just something I wanted to. You're something that made me want to go back and look at something really quick.
Oh, sure.
Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Also, who's that in the car?
Huh? For a second I thought it was Rosario Dawson, but that's definitely not Rosario Dawson.
Is that just like a random lady?
I think it's just some random lady.
Hello, Peter.
When we see him in a suit and tie, he could be heading to like a court hearing or something.
Yeah, well, I wanted to call your attention to this because you just said something that reminds me of something very important we saw in the trailer and we didn't mention. Do you see where Spider-Man is here?
On a highway?
Yeah, he is on, I forget what highway it is, but he's on the way to, he's on the New York side of the George Washington Bridge. So this way you go, if you were heading that way, you would be going into New Jersey on the GW Bridge. But right now he's in, I guess this would be Westchester County. And, of course, what river do we know the George Washington Bridge spans? The Hudson River. So, could that be where Dr. Octopus is emerging from?
I don't know, though, because, so, two things. One, that scene in Raimi's Spider-Man 2 happens at night.
Yeah.
It's like late in the evening. When that all goes down, then his lab gets kind of swept away by the river. But secondly, they ended up kind of reconciling and becoming friends, and that's why Dr. Octopus makes the sacrifice to like
Right.
submerge the star core
the star thing,
in the river, which also that would not put out a star. That would just evaporate all the that would create a massive steam explosion that would be like 1,000 times worse than Chernobyl was.
Yeah.
So
it would be
for a scientist, he's really dumb. But
Kurzgesagt, in a nutshell, they should do a video on that.
Oh yeah.
What would actually happen if you tried to submerge a small star in the Hudson River?
Yeah. Yeah, but like he makes the sacrifice to help Peter because Peter helped him.
Yeah.
So for me, it doesn't really make sense for him to immediately turn around and start attacking Peter again.
Right. Unless because remember the kind of the inhibitor chip that, kind of led to the tentacles taking over, that was what Peter broke so that he could get his humanity back in that moment at the end of Spider-Man 2. Unless that's now active again, and so it's the arms that are kind of back in control, and that's why he's attacking Peter. Also, different Peter. So
yeah,
that could be another thing. So that's my kind of small rationalization of it. You're right. Since this is the same Dr. Octopus, he did kind of get his humanity back at the end. So presumably he wouldn't be aggressive right away, but perhaps in the course of his universe merging with the MCU universe, the inhibitor chip is intact again, and the arms are now kind of running the show again.
Yeah.
That's my thought, but you make a good point.
And the other thing I'm curious about is if this is the same Dr. Octopus, why is it a different Electro?
Well, we don't know if it's a different Electro. It could be the exact same for all we know. We never actually saw him.
Yeah, I guess I'm just assuming that because of the yellow lightning.
Yeah. But of course, I mean, that's we for all we know, it could be the same Electro. I think you make a good point. I think there's good reason to believe that it's probably a different one, but it could be the same one for all we know. But yeah, I caught that and I realized, speaking of the river, that could be a clue because that is where the George Washington Bridge is. Obviously further up because I believe at the end of Spider-Man 2 that was closer to Lower Manhattan. George Washington Bridge is up in Westchester County, but this could have been at least not a ton of time. But...
Which way does the river flow? This is probably a really dumb question, but.
Rivers always flow towards open bodies of water, so it would be flowing south towards the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, so it'd be from up down to downtown.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so then it's not like he could be swept away by the river and then end up in uptown.
No, that definitely not. So. Yeah, but it is interesting. Like maybe some time has passed because obviously he's not attacking from the river; he's attacking from this highway.
Yeah.
So maybe enough time has passed, like a few hours, where he's climbed out of the river and now he's in this area, and that's where he comes face to face with Spider-Man. Just a small theory there, but I noticed that and I wanted to point that out. But yes, you were saying about your theory.
Yeah. So my theory. All right, let me break it down because it's like kind of two-pronged, but one, I think these villains, although we're getting the same actors, they are different versions of the same character. Just like, the J. Jonah Jameson situation. Same thing with Electro, but he's yellow to make him more distinct, and this is a different Dr. Octopus. I think the situation could still be the same where he was stopped by Peter and ended up in the Hudson, but this would be an alternate universe Peter. So just imagine, Spider-Man 2 happening, but instead of what's his name? Tobey Maguire, it's Tom Holland.
Right.
So it's like watching the movie through like an MCU lens, and it just looks different.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the same story, but in like an MCU way, and it's just like an alternate universe where Tom Holland, Peter Parker, took down this Dr. Octopus, who just happens to look the same as the Raimi films. And like same thing with Electro.
Yeah.
So that's kind of prong number one. But the second prong is the structure of the movie. I think what's going to happen is we open on him and MJ kind of running from the press. He sets her down. He gets swarmed by kind of a New York crowd. Goes home, gets apprehended by the police, yada yada, is dealing with, being seen as a criminal throughout high school. Goes to Dr. Stephen Strange for help. Stephen Strange tries to perform the spell, and Peter kind of messes it up because he's not sure what he wants, and he's like, I want everyone to forget. Wait, no, I want this person to remember, and I want this person to remember. And that causes a weird kind of glitch in the space-time continuum. And it's going to be Peter traveling to different multiverses for some reason. I'm not sure what the reason is. But that orange glowy spell that was condensed into like a small,
like orb.
Yeah, like atom looking thing. I think that's in the box. But there's some escape of this magical energy or something, and that's why Peter has the box with him, and he's like traveling from universe to universe to kind of collect this energy that was lost so he can like repair the universe. And I think that's, you have, Doctor Strange like doing the astral projection move on him, because that might be, like the same universe or a different universe in which, everyone forgot that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So Doctor Strange doesn't know who he is anymore. We see the Doctor Strange on the trains in like a canyon, and to me it seems like he's trying to attack Peter in some way. That could be the same one that didn't know him. That could be an entirely different one. Not sure.
Yeah, and I'm very glad you mentioned that as well, because we didn't actually talk about this when it came up in the trailer. But when it comes to,
he's my best friend.
Let me find the moment here.
We tampered with the stability of space-time. The multiverse is a concept.
Like here, he's being rescued, and they're in the mirror dimension.
Yeah, but I wanted to. Here we go. Yeah, we didn't even mention the fact that where the hell are they right now?
They're in like a weird canyon in like the Wild West.
They're like in like a very southwestern, almost
like,
Grand Canyon.
Yeah, like Nevada or.
Yeah. I mean, that's I that completely went over my head. I didn't even register. This location is so different than every other scene in the trailer. This is not. I'll tell you one thing. This is definitely not New York City. This looks like it's either Arizona or Nevada, or it could be the Sahara or God knows where. But it's definitely not New York. It really doesn't look like the Grand Canyon in Arizona.
Yeah.
So good catch on that. I didn't even register that. But yeah, this is radically different than any other place we've been. On top of, obviously, you've got the peculiar, multi-train tube thing that's going on. So that's really odd.
Yeah, but I think it's either going to be, multiple universes collided and Peter is trying to clean up the mess and like put these things that don't belong in that universe in the box and send them back to where they came from, or he's going to be traveling from universe to universe, trying to, I don't know what, get pieces or people who are missing from his own universe, like maybe like Ned, MJ, and Aunt May, like all get sent to different universes because they're not supposed to know who he is in this one. But he willed it that they do. I don't know.
Yeah, my theory is, I agree with what a lot of you said, but my theory actually is going in the different direction of what you said. You know, your theory was Peter Parker is going to have to branch out and go into different universes, different sections of the multiverse to collect this energy, to then come back to his universe and repair it. I think that my theory is a little bit more streamlined. I think that it really is a situation where you have these other iterations of Spider-Man characters, like obviously Dr. Octopus from the Raimi films and Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man films, who have been merged into this universe, a la Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And now it's a question of how do we return these elements from these different universes to their proper timelines and their proper, spaces. But one blind spot in my theory that you mentioned is the box. The box and that interaction with Doctor Strange. That's the one thing that my theory can't account for. I think that there is precedent for what I'm saying, and because of course we've seen this with J. Jonah Jameson, whose character was merged into the MCU and reskinned as a more MCU appropriate version. But the one thing I can't account for is what is the purpose of the box, and why does Doctor Strange do the move where he pushes Peter Parker outside of his body? Because we know that that's not their initial interaction. We see what that's like, and that's a lot more friendly than that.
Yeah.
So it seems like this Doctor Strange
doesn't know who Peter is.
The cleanest explanation is that this Doctor Strange does not know who this Peter is. And I can't account for why that would be. Unless what I said is true. These different elements got merged into the MCU, but Doctor Strange, in the course of performing the spell, accidentally displaced himself into a different timeline, which may have been part of what Wong was warning him about. And that might tie into the events of Multiverse of Madness. It's a little bit of a stretch, but I mean, it wouldn't be unprecedented because we know that Doctor Strange 2 is coming out just 3 months after this movie. So,
yeah,
there is going to be a very, very close tie-in. But other than that, I do feel confident in saying that these are the characters that we've seen before, now merged into the MCU and slightly reskinned as more MCU appropriate versions, but still those same characters. And now they're, inhabiting the same space.
Yeah, I think that's a lot more likely. So the use for the box. Sorry. I think that's a lot more likely, and the use for the box would be probably to capture them or send them back to their own proper universes somehow. Yeah. But yeah, the more I think about it, I'm very confident in the idea that somehow the spell works. Maybe it takes some time to take effect. But this causes Doctor Strange to forget who Peter is. And
yeah, that actually, that makes a lot of sense. The spell worked on Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, because it was everyone. Yeah.
Looking back on it, I guess that was kind of obvious. It was a blanket. Everyone forgets that Peter Parker is Spider-Man spell. So Doctor Strange, that includes Doctor Strange. He didn't exempt himself.
Actually, you know what? Okay, here's new iteration of this theory. Start off from Far From Home. He's dealing with the press, blah, blah, blah. Goes to Doctor Strange. Asks Doctor Strange to make the spell where everyone forgets. It almost goes wrong. But then Doctor Strange brings the spell back in. And then contains it within the box for some reason. Not sure about that yet. Gives it to Peter. And Peter is on his way. He goes home. No one remembers that he is Spider-Man. The spell worked. But he starts having run-ins with these villains who know who he is. Like by name, and he has no idea who they are. So he's like, oh shit, I think something went wrong. I've never seen these guys in my life, but they also know who I am. Which, poses a danger to the whole secret identity thing, and also they're trying to kill me. So he goes back to Doctor Strange for help. Doctor Strange doesn't remember who he is. Does the astral projection thing. There might be a whole kind of interrogation because Peter seems to know a lot of stuff that he shouldn't, because Doctor Strange has no memory of performing the spell. That's why we see Peter getting like thrown through the mirror dimension, or like, that what seems like a fight scene on the train.
Right.
And then from then on, it'll be a Doctor Strange who doesn't know Peter, helping Peter to capture these bad guys and send them back to the universes they came from.
Yeah.
That is my current standing theory.
And honestly, I'm going to agree with that. I think that's I think that based on what we've seen here, that's my prediction for how it's going to go as well, pretty much. And yeah, I by the end of this movie, do you think that, because the big plot point coming out of Far From Home was obviously, well, now the world knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and also people think that Spider-Man was responsible for all this terrible stuff that happened in Europe. Do you think that this spell, even though it will be the catalyst for the main conflict of this movie, and obviously bringing these other enemies in from different universes, will resolve that, and that at least, now going into Spider-Man 4, it won't be, well, now the world knows who Spider-Man is, the spell fixed that, but now we have these other characters who may not be, who may still be out there by the end of this movie, who could form a Sinister Six or something.
I don't know, because I know Sony wanted to do their own Sinister Six in their Sonyverse. I don't know if they're going to try to do an MCU tie-in to do that. But I imagine people won't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but Spider-Man will still be in trouble with the law, and it'll return to that kind of classic dynamic where, the people love him, but the police hate him, and are always after him, yada yada.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Which, admittedly, as a plot thread, that's a clever way to tie that up. Because it's tough to, it's gonna make life very difficult for Peter Parker if the whole world knows that he's Spider-Man and thinks he's a terrorist.
Yeah.
So, as a plot thread, that is kind of a neat way to tie it up, if you can just magic it away, but also use it to bring in these other things that you want to bring in. But as far as the Sinister Six goes, my question is, we already got a hint of the Green Goblin in this. Do you think we might see a suggestion of some of the other villains from the previous MCU Spider-Man films pop up again in this? Because I think that it is not out of the question that, we've talked about this before. I do not for a second believe that Mysterio is actually dead. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is still out there alive somewhere.
Especially because we saw his number 2 like pull the USB drive with all the files.
Exactly.
Which USBs only hold like 5 gigs. No way. No way. Make it a hard drive, but
Yeah. And also, we know that Michael Keaton is not only still around, but he's out of prison now because he's going to pop up in Morbius. I always have to struggle to get that name correctly after we just got a very good take on Agent Mobius in Loki. But I find it highly doubtful that we will not see the two of them again in not just some other property, but some property in the near future, quite possibly in this. Will they be major villains? No. But will they pop up in like a post-credit scene or something? I think yes. I think that by the end of this movie, we are going to see a major step taken towards assembling the Sinister Six, because we already have almost all the pieces that you would want in place. We've got a Dr. Octopus now, we've got Electro, we've got Vulture out there, we've got, I strongly believe Mysterio's still out there. And possibly now a Green Goblin as well. So, we're well on our way there. And I think that we know that Sony's wanted to do that for a long time. Obviously, this is a different way than they originally envisioned it, but they still want to do that. And obviously, who knows? You could bring in Carnage over from Venom 2. That's a very real possibility. And then, you would have a complete roster of six villains. So,
yeah, I would love to see Vulture return, just because he's actually just one of my favorite villains, because I love the MCU adaptation of him.
He was great.
The character made so much sense to me, and like the design was just so cool. Like, I want a wingsuit like that so freaking bad. That thing is fucking baller. But in that movie, there's the post-credit scene where he's talking to Scorpion, who has not made a reappearance. So I wonder if he'll be in this, possibly.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Scorpion is also out there. So I think so. That's one thing that I do think. Am I going to officially predict that? I'm kind of on the fence. I think it is a little bit of, maybe it is a little bit of wishful thinking, but I think that it's entirely possible by the end of this movie. But let's cover, because I think this is the biggest question that people had going into this trailer and also coming out of this trailer. Everybody has been talking about, will we see the prior two Spider-Men show up in this? Do you think we'll see them show up in this? Because
I want to say no, but there were set photos of Tobey Maguire on the set where they were filming No Way Home, which is pretty, damning evidence of.
Maybe.
I don't know. I want to say no. It doesn't make sense to me. How they would do it.
I'll say this. If they are in this movie, even if it's just in a post-credit scene or some super short thing, we will have, this is a prediction. I guarantee that we will not see them in any trailer, in any promotional material, in any commercial. They will not show up. That will be a secret that is saved for the movie, if they're in it at all.
Is that an official prediction?
Yes, I guarantee you will not see Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield in any trailer.
But he will be in the movie.
I think that... You know what? I'm going to say I think that you will see at least one, but if you're going to have one, probably both, of the prior Spider-Man pop up somehow, some way in this. If you can merge in villains, you can merge in the heroes too. And again, do I think it will be a major plot point? Not necessarily. This is still going to be Tom Holland's movie, but they are going to show up, quite possibly just in a post-credit scene, like they pop up and and they're just going to be MCU or MCU adjacent moving forward. But yeah, I think that if you can merge villains, it stands to reason that you could merge other Peter Parkers too, and it will come as no shock to anyone that Sony would like to have a live-action Spider-Verse to complement their very successful animated one.
Yeah.
So have we seen, other than, there have been some set photos of, well, we think it might be Tobey Maguire. Maybe it is. Have we seen anything official that would suggest that? No, and I feel strongly that we will not before the movie comes out. But do I think that they can pop up in this movie? Yes. Do I think they will pop up? Honestly, yes, I do. And I know that, 4 months from now, I could come to rue that prediction. But I think that they are going to pop up. At least one, but probably both.
All right. Well, for the sake of the wager, I'm going to say they are not going to be... There will be no other alternate Spider-Man in this movie. That is my prediction. The actors might be in the movie, but there will be no alternate Spider-Man. The only alternate Spider-Man we will see is Tom Holland acting with Tom Holland as a digiclone.
Well, let's be clear. I predict that we will see alternate Peter Parkers. I don't necessarily think that we are going to see the prior two Spider-Men suit up, but my prediction is we will see...
But they will be... Those actors will be called Peter Parker. As, like, that is their character name.
Well, now you could get me in trouble because the movie comes out and they do show up, but nobody calls them by their names.
No, but like it's implied that they are alternate Peter Parkers.
Okay, yeah. If it's sufficiently implied that if they do show up, and if it's sufficiently implied that they are indeed Peter Parkers, which I guarantee you, if they're going to be in the movie, there's no way that they're not going to be Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Then yeah. I don't necessarily think that they'll suit up. I won't go that far, but we will see them as Peter Parker. Yeah, that's a risky prediction. Boy, I'm a little worried about that, but I think that there's enough to suggest that, yeah, that would be the logical conclusion to the hook of this movie.
Do you know what my prediction is, actually? They will not suit up. They will not be alternate Peter Parkers. I think they could be Stan Lee cameo equivalents. Where it's just a little Easter egg for the audience that they have a little cameo in this film and are passing the torch on to Tom Holland.
That is very interesting. That is very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I hear you, and I think that that's a very smart prediction. But I think we have to get into the weeds of this wager a little bit. Because,
the nitty gritty.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways where you're predicting that they won't show up, but if they do show up, it's going to be in.
No, I changed my. I predict that they will show up as a cameo, specifically. So if they don't show up, I'm wrong. And if they do show up as Peter Parker, I'm also wrong.
Okay. The problem is that your prediction is very clever.
Yeah,
it's very
good.
clever.
It's good, right?
Yeah, it is good.
It makes sense. It fits in with my theory of the established, alternate MCU versions of the same characters, but it explains away the set photos.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna stick with my guns. You say that they could show up as a Stan Lee type cameo.
They will show up as a Stan Lee type cameo. Yeah. I'm serious about this one, man.
Okay. Yeah. So it's okay. So that's your space that you've carved out. I'm gonna stick with my guns and say they will show up as the alternate Peter Parkers. And anything beyond that is just extra. But they will show up as alternate Peter Parkers. And if they don't show up at all, then we're both wrong.
Yep.
But okay, well that's a hell of a wager. I will say that. That's a hell of a wager. But other than that, I think we're largely in agreement on what we theorize the general thrust of this movie is going to be.
Yeah, and how it'll play out.
Yeah, just based on what we saw here. But wow. Incredible. Needless to say, I'm going to be leaving a like on this. I have to sign it. I'm not my usual guy.
Every single time you go to like a video on this channel, it never works. Oh, that's IGN's channel. Oh, I'm not signed in.
I like it at a later date, but this was fantastic.
10 out of 10 trailer. I'm so pumped.
10 out of 10. I mean, this is it. This is our #1 most anticipated movie this year. I mean, yeah. I mean, this has shaken the foundations of certainly social media. I think the whole media landscape. And yeah, December 17th, it's coming out. Be
Get
there
ready.
Or be square.
Yeah.
That is going to be huge. Yeah, I'm just so excited. I was beside myself when I saw that this had come out yesterday. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I'm thrilled. I am absolutely thrilled. I mean, trailer was fantastic. Checked all the boxes. if the PS5 ad at the end was some intentional Machiavellian mind trick power play, brilliant. My hat's off to you.
If it was intentional, this trailer is officially an 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
If it was unintentional and just a measly cash grab, 4 out of 10. You ruined it. You ruined it for yourselves. Right, I'm going to boycott this movie and boycott PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
just
there you go. Actually, there is one more thing. Of course, in our Venom 2 trailer reaction, we talked a lot about we talked a fair amount about speculating how this trailer might tie into the release of that movie. Obviously, that didn't quite happen. The teaser is coming out now. That movie's not coming out until October. But I still believe that we are going to see something Spider-Man No Way Home related tied into that movie. I really do. Maybe that will be around when the official trailer comes out. But I as we've just seen, Sony, they're no strangers to cross promotion.
Yeah.
I believe that the teaser is out now, but the trailer or something important that Spider-Man No Way Home related will be coming out in conjunction with that movie in October.
For the sake of the wager, I am going to completely disagree. And I think they are entirely separate movies. But
okay.
We will just have to wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be. We will see. We will see. But well, if that's everything,
I think that's everything.
Yeah, like I said, we were barely a day into our planned hiatus, and we've just done an entire observation conversations reacting to this. But thank you all very much for watching. As stated in The Suicide Squad review, we will be back on September 5th with a new review. But thank you all very much for joining us and liking, commenting, and subscribing. Your support is what makes this show possible.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, we will speak to you again next time there's a new trailer to talk about. Although it probably won't be as exciting as this.
I don't know. I'm actually, if there's some good footage, I think we should do a secondary reaction to like another trailer, because we did do 2 Eternals videos.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely do a reaction when the next trailer for this comes out.
Yeah, and
but
update our theories.
Yeah, but when just the next trailer overall that we react to comes out, big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all very much for joining us, and we will speak to you again then.
Good night, everybody.